Hiya, welcome back to Budgeting Beans. My name is Emily and today I'm doing the March bullet journal video. I'm doing two of these videos this month because I've done two journals, one for my mother, one for my sister. This journal is for my mother and the general theme for her entire journal is like nature, some sort of nature. So this month I've gone for leafy greens just because they're very pretty, very viney. That was the aim, and I've got a Pinterest board that I'll try to pin, which was my inspiration for this journal. So for the cover page and the calendar page, these two pages here, it's taken me 18 minutes and 39 minutes to fully complete, from first touch of the pen to last, and final erasings, as Jesse Corrin says. Sorry, I felt very bougie saying that. And for the most part, the only equipment I used was the Unipin fine liner 0.3 and 0.5 and a ruler. Obviously an eraser to erase all of my pencil scratchings. But otherwise, that's all I really used. And then just for the details on the calendar spread, I did a 3x3 box for each of the rows. There are 6 rows altogether, 7 boxes across. And in addition, this also has a header for the days of the week. This is a 2x21 space that I've put in the first letter. I was going to say initial, but that's not the right word. First letter of each month. Day. And yeah, so that is it for this spread here. So moving on from the calendar and cover pages, I have my March overview. This page took me 6 minutes 10 seconds and I used a ruler and again the Unipin fine liner 0.5 and 0.3. I used the 0.3 to do all the numbers down the side of the page, indicating the days of the month. And then I used the 0.5 for the March header, which I've put at the bottom of the page, as well as the notes and goals sections on the right hand side of the overview page. So for the goals box at the top, I've done a 12x13 box, and then the notes box below it is again a 12x13 box. So on from the overview page, I have the colouring page. I haven't given this page an official title. I personally call it the colouring page because the main goal of this page is to colour it in. However, at the top I have added a little bookshelf, and this is for my mother to keep track of the books she's read. One of the things she had commented on when I was designing this journal was that she wanted to be able to track her books. So here and there throughout it, I've included a area for her to include any books that she's read, and as well as a little spot on the top corner for rating them out of 5, like which one's her favourite, la-da-doo-da. And the image I've chosen for her colouring, which is like the main aspect of this page, I looked up on Pinterest. Looked up on Pinterest, just general colouring pages. I think I typed in nature themed. And this was one of the results, kind of. I made a couple changes. I just found one I thought I could draw by hand and gave it a go. Probably not the best of things for me to have done, but I did it and I liked it. And the equipment I used for this page was a ruler, the Unipin fine liner 0.5, 0.3 and 0.05. The 0.05 was for all of the little mini details you can see on the plants in the colouring page. So the veins on the leaves, the mini lines on the flowers, etc. And for this entire colouring page, it took me 14 minutes and 53 seconds to complete. So following up from the colouring page, I have the expenses and no spend tracker, these two pages here. And for just the sake of this video editing, whatever, the duration of these two pages together was 8 minutes 43. I did them pretty much simultaneously, so I wasn't able to track how long it took each individual page. So the expenses, no tracker, that's on the left-hand side of the left-hand page. And I did it kind of a half-sies situation. So half the page, half of the left-hand page is the expenses tracker. This is where she can just track any and all expenses from the month. Ideally, I think I've planned it to be, what are they called? The unexpected expenses, just so she can know what's gone on. And then just beside it, I've got the no spend tracker and the bills tracker. This is done by writing out one number for each day of the month and having a space beside it for her to write down any bills that are that month or that day, as well as the highlighter with there's a little key below it, so you can highlight if it was no spend day, a spend day, or an authorized spend day. And that was the purpose of that. But the other side, the right-hand page, that's the savings tracker, and I've done it very much like my own because she'd specifically requested a savings tracker like my own, and I don't really have anything interesting to say about it. It's the same as all the other ones I've ever done. And all the equipment I used for these two spreads, is a ruler, the Unipin fine liner in 0.5, 0.3, and the Zebra mild liner double-ended in grey. So, as is with all journals, the longest section was the weekly spreads. Since I'm doing all of this in advance, I have written down all of the weeks in one go. So this took me, 33 minutes and 17 seconds to complete all of the weekly pages. And the idea for this was to do Dutch door. You can see me cutting that out now, as well as where I've made a mistake here. With my sketching out, I'd drawn the habit trackers, which are going to be along the top. You'll see as I go how I planned this design. Basically, I've got Dutch doors with each of the weeks are having their own little sections. However, at the top, you'll see the habit trackers peeking through, and this is so she doesn't have to keep flipping back to the front of her March spread to keep track of her habit trackers. So to create the Dutch doors, I marked down 9 spaces from the top of the page, and I've cut along that line. And to make it a little bit neater, I did round off the edges with one of those page rounder clippy things I got from Hobbycraft. I don't know what they're actually called, so I'm just going to call it page rounder. And along the top of the pages, I said 6 habit trackers. Each day of the month is 1 square. And for each of the days of the week and each of the weeklies, I've done 7 boxes. Each of the boxes are 11 by 13. And in the remaining space, I've done a mini calendar for my mother to keep track of which week she's in. So the equipment I used for this one is a ruler, scissors, page rounder, the Unipin fine liner 0.5 and 0.3. I use 0.3 for the mini calendars, and the Zebra mild liner in green to highlight each of the weeks. So this final spread of the March spread, that makes no sense, anyways, is my end of month spread, and it took me 7 minutes and 55 seconds to complete both of these 2 pages, being the end of month spread. And this is the same as all the other end of month spreads I've done for this journal so far, January, February, and it took, I've already said how long it takes. Jesus, I'm not functioning. So The favourites column is a 17 by 11 section. This includes a little note for books, movie, TV and music, as well as a memory. And then on the other side there's something I'm proud of, that's a 17 by 24 box, something to improve, a 12 by 24 box, and then another rate by month. This is an 8 by 24 and has the option for, I believe, 4 or 5 things to rate. Okay, and that is it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed this theme as much as I have, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!